With the 10th pick in the 2023 CFL Draft, the Ottawa Red Blacks select Lucas Cormier, defensive back, Mount Allison University. Saskatchewan, you're on the clock.
Interesting selection here, a tough, high-character player. Many people felt that maybe Simran Bagayogo would probably be the top U Sports defensive back taken. We saw Jonathan Sutherland from Penn State go in the first round. It's supposed to be a pretty good defensive back class. So, Dwayne, just tell us where Lucas Cormier fits in, corner, safety, and what kind of an impact can he have?
Yeah, I find it interesting that Lucas Cormier ends up going to Ottawa because the comparable for me for him would be Adam Auclair. Quite frankly, to me, a guy that I see as can take some snaps for you at free safety, can maybe play a little bit of will linebacker as well. Great versatility from Cormier. I think he was a guy coming into the combine that people were excited to see because you watch him on film, and obviously a terrific player for the Mount Allison Mounties, but you're not sure what the level of competition is playing in the AUS. But he showed up against the best players in the country at the combine and stood out, rose to as the cream of the crop. You know, just going back to that versatility thought, I had a chat with his coach, Peter Fraser from Mount Allison the other day, and he talked about Cormier as a guy that he said basically, other than defensive tackle, where they had Reese Martin and Vincenzo Frangioni, other than that position, you could put him anywhere on the field defensively, and he would be our best player at that position. And so I'm excited to see him show some of that versatility in the CFL.
Move over, Andrew Black. There's a new mayor in Sackville, okay? Because this kid runs this town at this point. After growing up there, he ends up, everybody from Sheppity Bay to the Waterfowl Park, okay? You are going to be celebrating tonight because this is a player worth getting excited about for the Ottawa Red Blacks and for everybody back in Sackville to be able to do this. I mean, he is incredibly long at defensive back. He covers a lot of ground. Didn't test out of the park, but I also think that he's somebody that we don't have to have this sort of AUS stigma that stings over everything where, well, is he good enough to be a player that can take it to the next level? As you say, we saw at the CFL Combine that he was wearing that bright yellow helmet because I guess his gear didn't show up, and so he was wearing an Edmonton Elks helmet at the Combine, and every time you turned around, there's this yellow helmet that was flashing and making plays and jumping the ball, and he just looks the part immediately. So I'm really happy to see him get an opportunity this high for such a high character player.
He's very rangy.
Yeah.
He has great ball skills. With ball in the air, he's as good a DB as I've seen in a long time. But the biggest thing about him, he reminds me a little, if you think back to Taylor Loeffler. Now, he looks a little bit imposing, maybe not like Taylor, but he will come down and knock your head off. And that's what I think Ottawa's looking for. You know, they want Baron Miles is going to want somebody who's going to come down and hit somebody for real in the middle. Now, they have a die. They have some good young players. Cranston, who is a similar type of guy. They drafted Valente last year out of Western. So they've got some good players there. That's definitely a Canadian position for him. I think he fits in very well there. He's, like I say, he's a good young player. He's going to be fun to watch.